Welcome to Pressplay, Jeff.
Hey, how are you doing, Beneat?
Pretty good, pretty good. Fantastic to have my ex-super boss on, Jeff Ray, CEO of one of the fastest growing online video platform brands, Brightcove, as our guest for Pressplay's 10th podcast. That's awesome. Let's get straight to it. Been a while, Jeff. For our podcast viewers who are pretty much around the world, including South Asia, APAC, the US, tell us a little bit about yourself and also what's it like to be leading an amazing online video platform, Brightcove.
Hey, Beneat, thanks again. And we sure miss you around here. And I can't thank you enough for all the great things that you did for us. And most importantly, for our awesome customers in India. Thanks to you, we're a better business and our customers are thriving, and I'm grateful for that. So Brightcove, as you said, is an online video platform. The founding team had the vision in the early 2000s, back when video over the web was really 10 frames per second, very, very low definition, and 5 or 10 second snippets. And we didn't even have smartphones. And they saw the power of video online to make it easier for people to share their stories and to connect with one another. And so from day one, it's always about making sure that that's the best possible viewer experience. As a result, it scales, it's secure, it's highly accessible, and it's built on a very, very powerful online platform that is open, accessible, makes it very, very easy for us to continue to enhance and improve. It's all SaaS, it's all built in the cloud, and it's really available for anyone, anywhere in the world. Customers range from really large media customers like News Corp and ESPN to companies like General Motors and Ford that use it to share content on new products, to make it easier for people to shop, to McDonald's that uses it to help train employees of their franchises on new food safety requirements or new products. So we every day we're in awe of what we see our customers do with Brightcove.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And I love the story about how Brightcove is one of the first few brands to have actually launched a video platform and literally been part of the creation of this vertical of the OVP business. Fantastic. And we have all lived through unprecedented times and a pandemic. How is Brightcove helping customers facing these challenges?
It's a great question. I'm shocked at how creative and innovative our customers have been and resourceful over the last almost year and a half now as they've struggled with COVID. Certainly those who rely on AVOD models, advertising-based models for monetization, they got hit the hardest in the early days because advertisers really pulled their spending. They didn't know if they were going to have any customers. Also, online live streaming sports communities got hit very hard as sporting events were shut down around the world. In the case of AVOD customers, they found other ways to monetize. We make it easy to help them do that. And the live sports was really fascinating. All of a sudden, the cricket matches were shut down in India, but in about 30 days' time, the Caribbean Cricket League started up, and people were streaming games from the Caribbean Cricket League. In Australia, no more rugby, but Korean baseball started fairly early, and they started live streaming Korean baseball. And I think that's just a testament to the resourcefulness of our customers. Certainly, the greatest impact has been on companies helping to connect with employees, with stakeholders, with suppliers, with customers and prospects through the use of video. And we certainly saw that pick up, especially with things like live events.
Thank you for that. That's amazing. And it's amazing to hear about the coverage that Brightcove has all the way from brands to enterprise to publishers and broadcasters. The next question that I have is, this is something that I've been tracking as well over the years. But the tech piece of the online video space is seeing increasing competition, and there are so many partners now versus 4 to 5 years ago. What are the big things to consider from a customer point of view when OTT platforms, video businesses are choosing their vendors, partners of choice for the tech component?
It's a great question, and yeah, there have never been more providers because there's never been greater demand for this, and we witness that too. We're kind of unique because we play in such a broad spectrum, from media to enterprise. We probably have the broadest set of users of any of the video providers out there, who tend to be more niche players or specialized in specific segments. So we certainly, I think, have a unique perspective on that. What we see is video is a journey. Rarely do people get it right the first time. Typically, an event forces the use of video. It's not actually a strategy, but it's, look, the CEO wants to do an all hands call and he wants to use video, or, hey, we need to launch the new fall clothing line and we've only got 45 days to put videos out there. So that event will trigger looking for vendors that will fit that space. And that typically will be the first exposure a company has to video. Some things will go well, some things will not go so well. They'll learn from that and adapt. They'll also find more and more uses for video. So it's very much a journey. At some point, they get to what I call a certain stage of video enlightenment, where they realize that it's all about integrity, scalability, high security, being able to be very, very flexible and open. And that's when we do extremely well, is when that customer gets to that stage of maturity in the use of video.
Great. Some really useful nuggets there and information for customers looking at a online video platform or exploring the online video journey, as you said rightly. So, amongst the verticals that you guys play in, or, a video platform plays in, what is your favorite vertical right now, and why?
I don't, like a parent with many children, you love them all equally, and they're all exciting, and they all have their own unique challenges. What unites us all is this passion for helping people share their stories through video. And at any point in time, there's one segment that just is getting more attention than others, again, as people go on this journey. I think what we've witnessed over the last year is this profound rise in virtual events. People could no longer get on planes, check into hotels to go to customer events, and had to pivot rapidly to video. And we ended up partnering with some of the largest events firms in the world to help make that possible. Probably my favorite story is South by Southwest. Real, very, very popular, very, very big event that happens in Austin, Texas, in the USA, each winter. And it's a focus on arts. It's a focus on music, on movies, on thought leaders, all converging on Austin for 5 days. And about 280,000 people each year do that. That obviously dried up. And so they pivoted to online video, and we helped them do that. As a result, they were able to actually share that event with a lot more people wherever they were in the world. Also, we helped them stand up their own OTT site. Think of Netflix. And so as a result, people had the luxury of being able to watch speeches by thought leaders, jump over and watch videos and movies or documentaries, or go and watch new musicians play. So they actually had access to a lot more than they could have if they were in Austin. And South by Southwest learned a lot from that. As a result, we're all hopeful that next year they will have another live event, but they're going to augment it with virtual. And we see that kind of as the path forward. Companies realize that online virtual events with live events is a great way to reach a lot more people around the world, and to have an ongoing relationship beyond just a 3 or 4 day event.
Awesome story. I love the South by Southwest story. And I think I completely agree with you that, going forward, the world is going to be hybrid, where there's going to be live events, but people realize that they can reach wider audiences by having an online presence as well. So fantastic answer to that one. Thank you, Jeff. Switching tracks a little bit to 5G. 5G rollouts around the corner. For most of APAC, it's going to start, early next year. I know the US has already started rolling out 5G. And the post-pandemic world hopefully will be upon us next year, and 5G. So, how should organizations prepare for this explosion? What should the focus areas be in your mind?
Well, 5G helps remove barriers to access. It makes it easier to connect with more people. And I think the best companies are using this as an opportunity to expand their thinking about who could consume their videos, who could they connect with, how do they become a broader, more diverse business. We announced recently that we're now making it easy for companies to launch videos in China, opening that market up to our customers. Mm-hmm. So I think it's all about being open-minded and thinking about what is possible. 5G removes barriers, and that should be very, very liberating for our customers. The other thing I think companies need to remember is that online video has democratized video production. It wasn't that long ago where we all relied on all of our video to be over the air or cable from a handful of producers. They decided what to show us and when to show it to us. And now with online video, the viewer is in control. And that should not be a threat. It is actually liberating. It allows us to share so much more content and reach more people. So that's the best way to look at 5G, is opening up new markets, new potential consumers, viewers to connect with.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Jeff. We are all looking forward to the next few years. As they say, we're just getting started in the online video world. Next up, what does the future look like for Brightcove? We hear about AI, ML, VR, AR, all these acronyms. How do you look at these technologies and how are they put to use across the video streaming ecosystem?
It's a great question. And unfortunately, companies now throw around the terms of AI and ML almost like a drinking game. You almost have to say it to be part of the club.
Right.
And we see it as so much more than that. We really believe that that this, again, removes barriers, makes it easier for people and organizations to connect with one another. The power of this is it really helps customers get really good feedback on what's working and what isn't. And that feedback is so critical to help them tune and adjust their strategy to make the most, to monetize their content. We've actually been using machine learning, which is different from AI. Machine learning is a higher order. It uses AI, but the machines constantly get feedback on what works and what doesn't, and adjusts and tunes itself to become smarter and better and more effective. And we've been using machine learning for some time. The best example is something called context-aware encoding. It's something that we actually were awarded Emmy for this year for the technology. And this makes it easier to show higher quality content to anyone, no matter what kind of device they're viewing it on, and no matter what kind of digital path there is between the producer and the viewer. So that's a great example where we're already using it. And every day it gets smarter and smarter. The other thing we see is return on video investment. Again, how do we help companies monetize video and understand what works and what doesn't? So transcriptions and captioning, making it easier to understand what kind of audience is seeing it and adjust to them so that they get the maximum impact of that. Also, to be able to support captions, so two people are on the screen talking, the captions for each person will appear actually closer to them to tell the reader what they're talking about. So the lips will actually move in the same way that the local language would be spoken. All of that's possible with AI and ML. And obviously things like recommendation models to really help viewers say, if you like this, this is something you would also like, and to give that feedback back to the producer. So great opportunities for monetization for producers, great opportunity for, I think, a better relationship and a better viewer experience for the viewing community.
Thank you. Context-aware encoding is one of the best technologies that I've seen. I've seen all the rest, and CAE and the work it does is phenomenal. So kudos to the team. Jeff, Pressplay aims to be the knowledge sharing platform for online video professionals, not only in India, but globally. We are a much smaller world now, thanks to LinkedIn, and thanks to the webinars and the interactions we have in a virtual world. And so, we also try through Pressplay unmask the professionals by asking the question as to, what are Jeff's passions and hobbies? And as a person, what does Jeff like doing beyond work?
Well, gosh, there are so many things I enjoy doing. But I think one thing that I really enjoy is being on the open water. We love to boat, and we love to be out on the water. And it's a great experience, because when you're going from one place to another, you have to plot the course, and everything moves and changes as you do that. The currents change, the tides change. You have other boater traffic. You have to worry about the depth of the water underneath. You have to worry about weather and storms. All of those things are constantly changing, and you have to just be attuned to that. And I think it's a good metaphor for life. I think it's very dangerous for any one of us to get set in our ways and assume that the only path is the path we've done before. We need to be open and flexible and responsive to all the changes that come. And when you do that, it's exciting. And it is also very rewarding when you finally get to your destination. So I tend to enjoy being on the water.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, sir. And it's always been a pleasure interacting with you. And all your trips to India, whatever little time we have got to spend together, I've learned a lot, and I'm sure the viewers will learn a lot after listening to you on this podcast. I'm looking forward to the next time we meet, hopefully in Boston or Florida or India, you never know. Thank you for your time, sir.
Vineet, thank you very much. And please continue to stay safe. And I can't wait until we can all get on planes and be together again. I look forward to that day also.
Thank you.